Welcome back. A skirmish has broken out between members of the community and law enforcement officers in Cape Town. This was apparently over a truck that people thought was carrying food. Meanwhile, people say they're grateful that President Cyril Ramaphosa increased social grants, but they say they need the money now. I spoke to our reporter Monique Mortlock on this.
Shahan, when we left, the situation was still tense, volatile, but a lot quieter than it was when we first arrived there. When we first arrived there, we saw a skirmish between police officers and community members that were running from Hines Park under the R300 bridge towards New Woodlands. According to police, I've just received a statement. They say that 4 suspects were arrested. While we were there, we saw 3 of those 4 suspects being arrested. They were pelting officers with stones, and officers were responding by firing rubber bullets and chasing after these suspects. But when we left, it was all quiet, except that section of road was still cordoned off.
All right, let's listen to JP Smith from the city.
I'm afraid on this particular section of the R300 between Jakes Gerwel and Stock Road, this is a bit of a hot spot now for the last while this morning. Earlier residents started calling, saying people are assembling here, attempting to attack the trucks. So we have a mechanism now, a nodal point where all the food transport vehicles are being tracked. So there's a nodal point for us to dispatch escort services to these vehicles to try and make sure that we keep them safe.
So, Monique, you've spoken to various community members about how they feel about the increase in social grants and how it'll help them. What are they saying?
Yes, Shahan, as you heard, Joni Frederick, she was one of those community members who I spoke to in Mitchell's Plain. I also spoke to some community leaders in Parkwood, and they're saying while they appreciate and welcome that increase in grants by President Cyril Ramaphosa, they are concerned, however, that it's too little too late and that it's still not enough to help in addressing the abject poverty that they are still seeing in those communities. A lot of these community leaders are running their own soup kitchens, feeding schemes in these communities because they feel not enough has happened or not enough has been done from government side. They say that it's up to them, up to the community themselves to band together and to feed one another just because of that desperation and that hunger that they are seeing. They are scared that it could lead to even more acts of violence like what we saw on the R300, that attempted looting of the truck.